Welcome to another episode of the Pabons and BK podcast, The Business of Family and Fashion. Today, we're going to be chatting a little bit about working together and the fact that we do work together. We work well together. Obviously, there's some bumps in the road here and there, but for the most part,
it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. We get asked this question often. People are like, how do you even make that happen? I was at a play date over the weekend with Elle and the mom. I was sitting there with the parents and they were both like, how? When I told them that we work together, because they were like, there's no way that we could do that. And
which is crazy to me because the hardest job in the world is being a parent.
Yeah.
And they do that together successfully. So that's why I'm always kind of surprised when other people say that are like married couples and
Right.
you know, whatever. It's like, but you're already doing a hard job together. Mm-hmm. So how could you not do this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really strange. And I guess it feels second nature to us because we've been through so much and we just had a lot early in the relationship, even before we got married, that kind of led us into this.
There was a lot when we were dating. Technically and legally, I was still married. That split was very nasty. You helped me through that. There were just so much stuff that just like needed to happen in the family court to get the divorce resolved. And I remember you helping me write out depositions or orders, stuff, paperwork that we had to file.
Yeah, a lot of the custody stuff.
I was just very emotional about it. And you could kind of like, all right, well, what do you need to say? And then I would, tell you, and then you would kind of just write it in a way that was just very clear and concise.
Yeah, that took all the emotion out of it, I think. I mean, obviously, you're so close to it. It's your daughter, and you had that emotion involved in that. And me, not that I was completely removed, but being somewhat removed from the situation, I can look at it like, okay, this is what we need to say. We need to take this emotional piece out because that has nothing to do with, facts and factual information. So
I was just trying to like, this is why I feel this way.
Right.
And it was definitely not needed.
Yeah.
So that was one piece. And then that actually had gone into the early part of our marriage.
Yeah, I mean, that lasted, let's see,
it's 2 years ago, like, I know, right? Still issues, just going back and forth to court. And there's just, just a lot of things that were happening that, you helped me work through. And, I would rely on you in terms of just what my mindset should be. Kind of like resetting my mindset outside of like the emotion.
Yeah. And I've always, just in general, I get emotional, but at the same time, just a reasonable mind when it comes to things. So I was able to provide that to you as well. So that like piece of working together on getting through
process.
Oh my gosh. And it was so much and it was so long.
All the time. Just always a cloud over us. So that was that. And then we went through a transition period. We moved into the new apartment, which was fantastic because Chloe was able to have her own room. And then Christian was a baby. He had his own space. We had the backyard, the back counter. So it's like you could breathe a little bit. And then I had started a brand with Tony and Londo, and then that just didn't happen. And then at the tail end of that, that's when we started the Shrine and started working on that project. We had a nice little run there, and then that run.
Yes, it ended, but before that, you needed, because I was a data analyst. I work at JetBlue. I was a data analyst. I did a lot of reporting. And he would always be like, I need to show where,
basically I had to prove that the stuff that I was doing marketing wise and what I was spending money on was actually working. And I could look at the data and say that. And I just couldn't present it in a way because I'm horrible at Excel and creating spreadsheets and charts.
And that's my thing.
So even in that, that early on, we were able to work together on work stuff and basically, find some ways to help each other out.
Yeah, because that's just my thing. I love looking at data and I love making it user friendly. I love making it, easy to understand for people. So that was something I actually enjoyed helping you with. And that went more ways than just, I'm going to do this report. It was like, how can I support you in this? What can I do? Where do you need to be? Where do you need to fly? Like we did so much
coordination together
and just supporting each other in like work.
Yeah.
How many times did I, apply for a job or think about applying for a job, a new promotion or something, and you like encouraged me and, pushed me to apply for something, gave me some tips on what to say during an interview.
Because I had been through so many interviews. Exactly. I felt like I was an interview expert at that point.
So it's just been a constant support back and forth.
And it was in that support and very stressful times. Mm-hmm. And we were able to say with a clear head, this is what's happening. This is how we're going to go about fixing it and creating a plan for it.
Yeah. And if one person was stressed, then the other person had to stayed level-headed and, really work to bang things out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then when the shrine situation came to an end, I was at a kind of a crossroads. And I remember this vividly. I remember coming to you and I said, yeah, I can go try and find another job and spend all my time doing that. Or I can start this business, #BK, which was at the time digital marketing and content.
Before that, though, you spent a few months trying to do another bag thing.
I did,
remember
but
that?
yes.
Before.
It was about a month.
No, it was 3 months. I promise you it was 3 months. I'm just sitting there like, dude.
You're right. I remember I was having meetings with some people.
Yeah.
And they were very interested, but it just, the clock was ticking.
Yeah, and you realize it was like, why am I chasing? Like, I'm not even that into it. Why am I chasing this? Just
particular bag thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it was like, with a couple of friends, like, okay, you're an art director, you're a photographer, videographer. I'm the person who, comes up with a strategy and, we can present and pitch. I remember we were trying to make #BK become similar to like a Wieden & Kennedy or like a laundry service where it's like, creating content and creating strategies for medium to big company.
Yeah. Which was awesome. I mean,
that was awesome.
Y'all did some really amazing work.
Yes. It took us maybe about a couple of months to like sign one client. And then it was just a lot of spec work. And spec work is basically working for free to show people capabilities that you have and presenting something that you could do for them. So we did a few months of spec work, which I thought was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
And then we started getting clients.
But that took like 10 months to actually be getting money.
Yes, because it took 3 months to start, and then it took 3 months of pitching, And then it actually took a few months to actually start executing and then actually getting paid. So there was a whole 10 months. But right before that, I remember coming to you like, yo, I can go find another job.
Yeah.
I'll go do that. Right. But I really think we can do this. And I think the time would be better spent building this than having the 9 to 5 and then doing the side hustle.
And I believed in it.
It was dope.
I believed in it because, I mean, I knew photographer's work. I knew he was amazing. I know what you can do. I know what John could do. Like,
Yeah.
I knew that it could be amazing. So I'm like, I'm with it. We're not paying rent right now, but I'm with it.
and that was the other thing. Like, it was like 10 months where, you know, we weren't paying rent because
no rent. We had to decide, what are we paying? Because it was just my salary, my corporate JetBlue salary. I had no side hustle. I had nothing else. Yeah. So we had to decide where to put our money. Yeah. And we didn't want a repossession.
Yeah.
We didn't want our lights to go off. We got a kid at home.
Yep.
We
needed food in the fridge.
We needed to put in the fridge.
So we told the landlord, you're going to have to wait to get your money.
Yeah.
And we eventually worked it out, but it was
scary. It was very scary because I had to go back and forth to court a lot of times.
Housing court, yep.
About not being able to pay rent and when are you going to be able to pay it. And fortunately, there were some rules in New York City that you couldn't kick anybody out in a certain amount of time or whatever. So
gave us some leeway.
Yeah, we knew we were playing with fire, but we also had a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. And then once we kind of got the business off the ground and we're starting to make it work, once again, you know, the dynamics between myself and some creatives, you know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But the only good thing about it was that a lot of the clients that we had gotten and had done work for still needed work, and I could do it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, cool. I don't need, you know, this knucklehead to keep moving. Like, and I can just do this myself. And I remember saying to you at the time, like, I don't know why I keep trying to go start these businesses and partnerships because I could do it myself.
Yeah.
And I remember confessing to you, like, sometimes I'm a little insecure with myself and I think I need people.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm enough.
I remember that conversation.
And it was just like, let me be the leader here and I'm just going to do all the work.
Which eventually led to you telling me the exact same thing. Like, you got to believe you're enough.
Yes, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just, I was insecure. I was like, I needed a team. Like, I need this guy to do this. I need this guy to do this because I didn't think I could do this and I didn't think I could do that. Or it just wasn't my strong suit.
Yeah.
So I felt a little insecure about it. And it wasn't until after that where it was just like, I can do this myself and just farm out and subcontract certain work and I'll be fine.
Yeah, and then that's what you started doing
for OVED.
For OVED, right.
Yeah.
And finally, you know,
money started
coming in on
my side, and it was just like, okay. I remember feeling 100 times better about myself just as a man and a provider and just, you know, and I just remember telling myself, like, you know, you were holding it down for a long time and you need a breather. And
when Elle was a baby, you were like, if you need to stay home, if you want to stay home a little bit longer, because with Christian, I went back after 8 weeks.
Yes, because of the
fake maternity leave.
Fake maternity leave.
So I'm back after 8 weeks, but with Elle, I was home for 4 months.
You were. And because I was making some really good money, it was okay.
Yeah. And we were able to pay everything on your one salary. So.
Yeah, I remember I puffed my chest out when I came home with that plan.
Oh my God. That was like, are you serious? Like, when I tell you the relief I felt, when you said that, you'll handle everything, it just, no one has ever said that to me. No one has ever done that. So I was just like, whew, besides my dad, like nobody else. So it was great.
But I was doing really well. With it was a consultancy, but it was a full-time consultancy with OVED, so it was kind of like a job, but not really employee.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was rocking and rolling there. I had we had 2 brands I was overseeing over there, and it was great. It was just like knowing that you could. Because I remember the first time with Christian, you had so much anxiety about going back to work so early. 8 weeks is. Thank God
he was,
Alan.
oh my God. But he was still such a tiny baby. And I'm like, I have to leave my tiny little baby with this woman who I just met a month ago. She was amazing, but it was.
She helped raise Chloe. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't like we didn't know her at all. Like,
I didn't. You did. So, yeah. But we're kind of getting off topic.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so then that kind of led into when I started, with the OVEDs, like that kind of led into you trying to start your business.
Yes.
Yeah. Because now it was like, okay, we're stable, right, financially. And then you were kind of like, I think I can, was it? It
was Virtue de Joy.
Virtue de Joy first.
Yeah. Well, not first, but
yes,
before Dressed in Joy. And I had no clue about anything fashion, about anything marketing, let alone fashion marketing.
Retail.
I knew nothing about nothing. I knew how to build a website.
You did. It was a beautiful website.
And that's it. Like, that's it.
And then I think that's kind of like where the support kind of flipped, where it was like, you were supporting me through a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of stuff. And then it was like, you wanted to do Virtue de Joy. And then that's where it was just kind of like, now I can help you.
Right.
And like, you wanted to go to trade shows. And it's like, okay, cool. Like,
I was so nervous when I tell you, like, boots shaking to go to this trade show and actually talk to people. And you gave me, so you gave me some things to say, like, make sure you say these words, make sure you ask about immediates, make sure, because then you're going to sound like you know what you're talking about. And so I literally wrote these things down. And I was looking at I was looking at my notes on the train. Because I had no clue. And I was so nervous that people would be like, oh, this clown, get her out of here.
Yeah. So I was trying to help coach you up.
Yeah.
And then you were able to close deals with clothing companies to retail on Virtue de Joy.
And ones that I wanted too. Like, I went in with specific brands that I wanted to get, and I got those specific brands.
Yeah. And then it was about selling the clothes.
Yes. Which I was terrible at. Like, I really thought, which a lot of people think, that you make the clothes and people are going to love it and they're going to buy it. They're going to see it, they're going to love it, and they're going to buy it.
Like, as soon as you go live,
sold out.
It's like those commercials, like those commercials, like those Shopify commercials, like you press live on your website and then it's just the count of orders.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's a whole lot that has to happen.
Knew nothing about it.
And I remember actually trying to talk you off the ledge to just be like, this is how hard it is to be a retailer. And you were like, I can do this. And I was like, I know you can. Just support. Like, yep, let's do this. Here's the plan.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. One year, y'all, okay? I made $1,500 in the year. Maybe it was 17, because I think I did like 15 in a month and literally barely anything else for the rest of the year. And when I tell you I was hype, like,
that was a good
what?
Month. That was a good month.
What?
Got to start somewhere.
Y'all couldn't tell me I was not doing it, okay? But I wasn't doing it.
And then the funny thing about that was like, I just need to buy different stuff.
Yep.
I was like, yeah. hyping. You like, yeah.
In the back of your mind, you like,
No. I knew that there's no room for doubt. Like, I didn't want to manifest negativity,
yeah,
manifest doubt. So, like, yo, if you believe in it, I believe it. Like,
delusional together.
listen, that's just the way it was. It was like, yo, and because I didn't want you at all to think that I didn't believe in you, to like sow that seed of doubt in
Yeah,
your own mind.
yeah.
Well, Dre doesn't believe in this, and it's just like, I believe in all of
Yo, I just kept buying stuff, and
Still have-
it's still in our basement right now.
it. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
no fun.
And that was actually the situation when we started working together. You're doing your photo shoots. Remember that first photo shoot?
Oh yeah, and you came and you were like my intern.
I was your
That-
intern for the day.
You steamed clothes.
That was
You told me to I didn't know much about shot lists.
yes.
So you told me to make a shot list so that and everything was like so
Yeah.
smooth.
So like just this is how you prepare for a shoot. Like you know what you want to shoot. You have your models. This is boom, boom, boom. Lay it out, accessories, everything, so that by the time you get there, all you got to do is lay everything out, and then explain to everyone, just me and the other model, the team.
The photographer. Who was terrible. Oh,
Yeah, that was bad. But it was just like most of photo shoot, video production, most of the work is before you even get there, just prepping and planning.
yeah.
Storyboarding, and we had like the storyboards up, and it was just like, and then from that point on, it was like you just had the formula to know how to create, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's a beautiful collection. It didn't do nothing.
I think I took a day off from work.
Because you were, where were you working at that point? Because that was
Don't patch that.
2015.
That was
2015?
that was a shrine. That was a shrine. So I took a day off as I was the marketing director for this very small company, and I took a day off to be her intern.
Yes. To steam clothes.
Steam clothes, prep clothes, and to
Pipe me up at the shoot.
yes, and set and the dress and undress the set. Make sure that the set was as you wanted it.
Yeah.
It's just like took it back to my intern days.
Intern for your wife. Was not making any money at all.
Didn't matter. That's what you needed. Because I told you that day, like you just need to focus on being creative. Like you shouldn't be steaming clothes. Like you shouldn't be, making sure that the accessories are in order and things are done. It was just like, yo, you just need to be the creative director here, and make it happen.
Yeah.
I remember doing a time lapse video on my GoPro of that. Remember that?
I do. I hated those. I still do.
But yeah, and that was like the first time like working, like not on our marriage or
Right.
personal, but it was
Or kids.
or kids. It was just about work.
Yep.
That was the first time we actually. And then several of your shoots later, I've still.
Steaming my clothes.
What was that? We had a shoot 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was steaming clothes.
But you were also the photographer.
I've graduated. You gave me more responsibility. I'm gonna be on Fries next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the big bucks start rolling in.
Now register. That's when the big bucks. But yeah. So we've been doing that, and then has it been like a year ago?
Yes.
Just about a year ago, we decided
Where you
to.
go?
I was doing some consultancy work, and that wasn't going well for the company, but it was going fairly well. And then you were just kind of like, I need help here.
And you were in a place where you wanted to, because you had been working for Oved, you were helping them make millions of dollars, and you're like, you know what, I need to be doing this for our people. I need to do this for, for Black-owned businesses. And you did that?
I did that. And then it was like, to get other Black-owned businesses, let's focus on our Black-owned business.
Right.
That's when it just really was like, okay.
So that was, I think it's when we just moved into that place. So it had to be like February of last year.
That was it.
just about a year. But I think when you think about like going back towards the pandemic and being together all the time, which neither of us signed up for, let's be honest.
Yes, I did not. If you would have told me that marriage meant being with someone 24/7, I probably would not have signed.
I most certainly would not have, because I like my alone time. I used to enjoy silent weekends.
We used to have a lot of those.
No, like by myself.
By yourself, okay.
Like silent weekends where I would just be by myself watching TV or napping or reading or whatever. Don't talk to me. Don't call my phone. Don't come to my house.
It was easier back then with the phones. It's like you could literally turn off your phone.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Loved it. Those were so fantastic. So had you told me that marriage in 2020 meant being together all day, all night with children.
In the house. Like, not even like we're going out and doing things. 24/7, like, we're stuck in this house.
Yeah. But thank God we had 2 floors, though. Like,
and the backyard.
In the backyard. Yeah.
That backyard was
I
clutch.
can't even imagine. Woo.
Thank God for running.
But being together.
I would have gone crazy.
I think being together all the time kind of led to us being able to
be around each other.
Yeah.
All that time. Because it was like when the pandemic lifted and last year when we started working together, it wasn't like a shock to the system.
Right. Even though like you come here to the store and you work, I go to my office and work.
Yeah, because sometimes it still is a little bit too much. Like, especially when we come off of a weekend, like Monday mornings, I'm like, yo, I'm out of here.
I remember one time, we took the kids to school and I hadn't planned on going to Dumbo, but we hadn't talked about it either. So I just was at home working and you had an attitude all morning, like just attitude. And I'm like, what did I do? I had no idea.
I think in my head, I had assumed you were going to Dumbo to your office. And then you were like, nah, I'm going to stay here. And I was just tight. I was just like, oh.
And then you were like, well, I just assumed you were going to Dumbo. I'm like, word. He had such a bad attitude. I was like, cool. I literally packed my stuff, got dressed, and left the house within like 15 minutes. Like, nope, bye.
As soon as you left, I was like, I was acting mad while you were leaving. Like, no, as soon as you left.
You weren't. You didn't even say a word to me.
I didn't. I was tight. Because sometimes it's just like, and I think we've talked about this before, like when you started as an entrepreneur and really building the business, it was in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you have this ability to work amidst the family chaos. I do not have that ability. I need to come here to # the store and just utter silence. Like, I need my list. I need to know what I'm doing today. And I just need to be able to, like, sometimes working from home is good, but, it's a lot of distractions. Here, it's like, no distractions. Let me just tunnel vision, get this work done.
But, I think part of it is that all my work environments have been not chaos, but there's just a lot going on all the time. So it's never quiet. It was never quiet at JetBlue. Like, there's always somebody walking behind me talking, a conversation happening over here, a party over there in that room.
Yeah, no, like, I'm used to that because I could like put in some headphones and just literally put a sign on my computer like, leave me alone. I need 3 hours. Like, and I would just tell people, like, I'm working on some stuff today. It might have been video. It might have been, I got to put up social media posts. It might have just been a whole bunch of stuff. And I could just tell people, like, I don't care what you have, just leave me alone. Right? And they would do that. But like when the kids are around, it's like, they blow through every red light that you put up for them. And then even sometimes I've done this to you where it's like, you're trying to focus on some work and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then you're just like.
You hate it when I do that.
Oh my.
I had to learn I had to learn that, like, because things pop into my head and then they leave.
And then for me, things are in my head that I'm trying to work through, and then that interruption comes and I lose
Right.
everything. It's like I had it.
So we had to learn that about each other, where it's like, if I have something, I either need to write it down or I need to text him or something because
Or write a reminder or just be like, yeah.
I'll forget if I don't.
I just remember
Say.
looking at you a few times, like, again, you come. And, you know, I've been lucky enough to, at the places I've worked, have my own office.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, I've been able to be like, I'm going to close and lock this door. And lock it. And just, look, I'm gonna be in here for 3 hours. I have a gang of stuff to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I don't care what you do. I'm going to grab my lunch, going to eat it here, like, leave me alone. And so I do not have the ability to work in terms of that chaos. Put me on a photo shoot set, put me on a video set, things are all going wrong, bad weather, my mind works then, and I can just be like, boom, 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 I can figure that piece out. At home with kids running around, you know, Christian jumping on the couch, Elle asking for a snack every 10 minutes.
I don't know why. And it's so crazy because if I'm working on something like that doesn't get to me in the same way. And I think part of it might be because when I was working at JetBlue, I did a lot of work from home. And a lot of that time I had to go get Christian from school early. So I'd pick him up at like 2:30, 2:40, come home with him, finish my workday at home with him. And that was at least 2 years of that.
And it's like, from the start of our relationship to like, even like that point, like it kind of, all of those experiences helped us get to where we are.
Yeah.
And be okay with working together. And, you know, what was our joke? The joke to that tune was like, it's hard to quiet quit when you work for your wife.
So I was like, did you check that email? I see an email came through. Did you?
I did not. I've been on my phone checking emails and been surfing the internet. And then, so we're going to talk about the shoot now?
Oh my God. She can.
What was that, about a month ago?
No, that was like maybe almost a month. Maybe like 3 weeks ago.
We made a plan to go shoot some content.
Yes.
Not for the brand.
Right. So I usually work with a photographer to shoot my like content for my personal page, like just regular street style stuff. And since he's been doing so well shooting the brand content, I thought, well, hey, let's just do this too.
I've sharpened my skills as a photographer because we got a new camera, and the new camera makes things look super crisp.
Yes, but you also have a good eye for...
I just don't have the patience.
Right. Yeah.
I'm building up.
So, before the shoot, this is my process, my thinking, my thought process was, I'm going to show him photos of what I want it to look like. And from this, he'll be able to see what I want and get the content, and we'll be out of here in like an hour.
So I'm not a natural photographer.
Right.
So where in the past, I'm used to being the person to show a photographer a photo and say, this is what I want. Mood board, storyboard, whatever. I get what I want. But now that I'm the one behind the lens, and I remember telling you this, I don't know what it means to look at a photo and then say, this is the angle I need to be at.
Right.
This is, because I'm not a natural photographer.
Right. And that's how my brain works. When I see a picture, somebody wants it like this, cool, got you. I know exactly what to do. I see you want this much sky. I see you want to be in the middle. I see you want, whatever. I see it all. Boom, I got you. Like, so I just assumed that he saw it the same way.
And
And you didn't say anything otherwise.
I did it because I was trying my best.
Yes.
I was doing my best. But my best was not good.
Every time you would show me the picture, I'd just be like,
your face.
that was my response every time.
And then you would show me another photo. I want this. And then my brain worked the same exact way. And then we shoot another set, and then I show you, and then
I'd be like, no, that's not it either.
we tried it for a third time.
We did.
And it was still the same outcome.
And at that point, I was just like, let's just go home.
Are we a cursing podcast?
We can be.
Because I was like, you didn't. You don't like my shit? And I was tight. I was frustrated. And then I had to sit there and be like, I thought about it like, I need her to explain to me what about the photo is needed in the photo. And then I remember sitting there and you were like, let's just go home. And then something clicked in my head was like, I have had so many issues on photo shoots with other people and have still gotten through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm a professional, damn it. I'm not going to let this, we're going to get this work done.
You were like, I don't think we should go. You said it real calm too. You're like, I don't think we should.
In my head though, it was like, hell no. But I know.
You filtered.
Yes, because, and that's been a part of the process of working with your wife where it's just like, I can't say the things to you that I would say to someone else.
In the same way, right?
In the same way. If I know what's good for me. And it was just like, nah, we're not going nowhere. We're going to get this. We came out here. We set this time out. And for us to go home, to me, sounded like failure.
And I'm still like just being real bullheaded about it. And I was just like, nah, I don't think this ain't going to work. We're not going to get this right. We're not going to. You were like, we came out here to do this. Let's at least try. I was like, well, if you want to. If you think we can do it, I guess.
That's what you said.
I sure did.
That's exactly what you said. And I was like, I think we can do it.
Yep.
And then I started remembering what my photographer friends would do to get certain shots. And I'm like laid out in the middle of the street, like on my back, trying to get this angle. And then it was just like, you approve. And it was like, yes, this is what I want. And then it was like, boom, okay.
But you had to also tell me, the pictures don't do it for me. Eventually, you were like, the pictures don't do it for me. That's not how my brain works. You need to tell me less ground, more sky. I want to see this in the background. Like, I really had to be descriptive about what I wanted. And that is what...
Words matter.
Yes, and that is what helped us get through it. Because I'm thinking... I think is a picture is good. You need the words. You need to calculate.
I need the words to explain to me.
Yeah.
Like I need to read it or listen to it and like have it resonate so I can say, okay, then I need to do this to make that part happen.
Right. And so that's what we learned about each other is like, I'm more visual, you're more verbal.
Yeah.
When it comes to work, and it made more sense. And so now we know how to communicate better when it comes to anything creative.
So this was like, that situation is actually what spawned this conversation for this episode of the podcast, because we were like, I just remember like, I've been thinking about it since then. Like, it was the first time we ever had tension, like real palpable tension in the work setting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, we were able to just like kind of talk through it. And I had to like put my ego aside because I'm like, I'm not giving what's needed. She's not, the result isn't happening for her. And I just need to figure that part out.
And I think part of it was because every time we shoot for the business, the pictures are amazing and everything is so good. And I'm just like, oh, this is great, babe. This is great, babe. And that's what you're used to.
Yes, because you've already told me for the business content what you want.
Yeah.
And it's already been ingrained. And I know now it's like, assembly line, right? Like we just put things together and bang, 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 we make it happen. But the street style stuff and like
that was new.
And I was just like, what do you want from me, dude? Like my shit ain't good no more. Like last week it was great. And then
it literally was the week before.
The week before, like, yo. And then, but it was like, oh, it's not good now?
Yeah. But we made it through.
Are we going to show some of the photos?
Oh, yeah, we should. We definitely should show some of the pictures.
Definitely show the pictures that didn't work. Did we erase those?
No.
Because you don't.
Oh, yeah. I think we may have deleted the bad one.
That would have been cool to look at.
Yeah.
I tried. But yeah. But we do have the good photos.
Yeah.
Good results of those. And I believe those photos did fairly well.
Yeah.
Film mission accomplished. But I just
we can do it again, I think.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. But no, it was just again, like in my head, I'm like, you know how many arguments I've had on a photo shoot? And I'm like, I've never just walked away from it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna let a little rift, and it wasn't even like we had a full blown argument.
No, I think there was just, like you said, it was just tension. Yeah. Like, you're not doing what I need. I'm not giving you what you need. We're both annoyed. So let's just go. That's how I felt.
And that light went off in my head, like, you're a professional. You don't let stuff like this. And I was like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Yeah. And we made it happen. So that's just a little sneak peek into the dynamic of what happens and how we are able to kind of like work through the stuff.
Yeah, we're always able to work through the stuff. And that's something we always say together when something is really hard, when times are really hard.
Yes.
We'll get through it together.
Yes.
We'll get through it together. Like that's like our family like motto at this point. Yeah. Mantra. At this point, because we've said it so much.
Because there's been so much.
Exactly.
So for everyone who wonders how it is that we're able to work together, we had just been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
First 5, maybe 6 years of the marriage was just like one thing after another thing after another thing. And we would just put our heads down and work to fix the issues, fix the problem.
And we trusted that we would get through it together.
Yes. It wasn't like we had a doubt. Like, is this going to work out? No, we knew it was going to work out. We knew we would figure it out. And if...
That's Brooklyn.
We just knew that we would figure it out. We trusted each other. I think that's the other thing. A lot of trust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's it, y'all.
Yeah. Hope you could take something from this. I hope maybe if you laughed a little bit, that would be fantastic. But yeah, man, these are the type of conversations that we have all the time. Like, this is what it looks like when we're on the couch, like watching our favorite shows and like kind of recapping the week.
Or in the car driving home.
Yeah.
From dropping the kids off at school. Which is weird. I don't think we need to go together, but I think we just enjoy it.
That is you. I think you enjoy it.
I do. I like going together as a family.
Because it's kind of like, in my logical part of my brain, it's like, this is not an efficient use of time. And I'll be like, oh, I'll take them. It's cool. I'll take them. You're like, you can use that 30 minutes to, get ready for your day and, whatever, or make your acai bowl and just kind of relax. And you're like, no, I'm coming. And it's just like, why are we both taking the kids?
It's fun, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Yes. Pabons and BK.
Business of Family and Fashion. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share, subscribe. We have so much more to talk about, so stay with us. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us.
Live from Bedford Stuyvesant.